Welcome back, everyone. I am extremely excited today. We have our next, I was actually going to count earlier and I forgot to count Josh and Aaron. Our next joint barrel pick between Stuff and Whiskey and the Bourbon Judge community. So my community has heard me talk a lot about Stuff and Whiskey. I'm a big fan of Josh and Aaron. As I say, sometimes just like-minded, good whiskey friends are good to have. And there's no other better whiskey couple in the world than Josh and Aaron. So welcome, Josh and Aaron. As well as we have Jamie, as well as Randy, a.k.a. the doer of stuff, representing Stuff and Whiskey. And then we have our good friend Rob Sullivan and Justin Reber, representing the Bourbon Judge community. So welcome, everyone.
Thanks for having us, Judge. This is going to be a fun pick, man. This looks like I was just pouring samples for Randy and Jamie, and I was kind of catching whiffs. Like as I'm, sometimes you just catch a whiff while you're pouring the sample. Mm-hmm. And I was like, boy, if this is any indication, we got some good barrels in front of us.
Indeed. Yep. Absolutely. So for everyone out there who's had Cedar Ridge before, I was telling Rob I had a pour at a buddy's house, but I was, several pours deep. So honestly, I hate to say it, I really didn't remember the experience, but I've heard good things about Cedar Ridge. But has anybody on the live stream tonight had some Cedar Ridge before in the past?
I have.
Yeah, I have as well. That's what I'm warming up with. I have a store pick from a local store that I'm drinking.
Nice.
This will be my first Cedar Ridge, so looking forward to it.
First one. Okay. All right. Justin, how about you? Justin, you might be on mute, but take your time. No worries. No worries at all. Looks like Brian was saying in the chat that he was just there. You're a lucky man, Brian. I wish we were able to get out to Iowa. I love Iowa as a whole, but unfortunately, sometimes with schedules and the holiday season, it just gets a little crazy. So awesome. No big deal.
Yeah. And I think the two best things that they do, I think, are their barrel picks and the quintessential American single malt that they do. I love that.
That quintessential is really good.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
And then anybody that lives near there, you just hear them. I mean, you hear a lot of anybody that lives near any distillery typically has a lot of local favoritism, and we're guilty of it ourselves here with Nashville Barrel Company and the bottles that they source. But man, I mean, anybody that lives near there, they will sing Cedar Ridge's praises to high heaven because they really do make good whiskey. And this is, not sourced. This is all their own stuff, which I think definitely carries with it some weight. So this is going to be a good one, guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, this should be fun. It's I mean, you think about it, like when I heard about Cedar Ridge, and like I said, I had a pour, but I wish I would have remembered that experience, but that's neither here nor there. You think about like the heart of corn, right? I mean, corn, bourbon, they go hand in hand. So I'm thinking the whiskey has to be good. I mean, they're in the mecca of corn. So,
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
That's all they have is corn.
Literally, the entire state,
After Iowa, and you're like,
yep, absolutely. It's like just kind of goes through. So we have a lot of great whiskey tonight. I know it's a lot of people reach out to like, Judge, why'd you schedule a live stream while there's Thursday Night Football? So I'm going to apologize to both whiskey communities, Stuff and Whiskey, as well as the Judge community. I'm sorry to conflict with your Bills or your Dolphins fans out there. So my apologies first and foremost. I know that's a taboo thing to mess with the NFL. So my apologies, everyone.
Hey, the show must go on, and this will be there for the rewatch, or you can catch up on the highlights in the game.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Whiskey Row is doing like a 3-hour fundraiser right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh wow, 3 hours. Oh gosh, I don't do anything for 3 hours. I don't think. Literally. Oh man, I would fall asleep. That's a lot of whiskey over 3 hours. You have to pace yourself.
Oh yeah.
So I'm ready for this. I mean, we're following up on our last joint barrel pick over at Wild Turkey. That was a blast. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun. So that was a blast. And here we are with some Cedar Ridge. So let's dive into it. So I think we said the order is going to be Josh recommended. We're going to start with which is interesting, by the way. We have for the barrel proofs, everyone out there. We know it's barrel proof. We have the year is aged 5 years for both bottles, but we don't have the proof. For the double oaks, we have the proofs, but we don't have the age. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a blast. This is going to be a blast.
Everything is so close that, like, in proof and in age, what the stats that we do have. I mean, I don't there's knowing this information doesn't make us lean one way or another. Like everything's so close, it's literally going to come down to what tastes the best. So
You know what's
So
crazy is how dark the barrel proofs are compared to the double oak. There's not much difference.
that's a
Yeah.
great point, Randy, because
Yeah.
I was like, and I'm seeing it now. Like I'm literally looking at the sample bottles that they sent, and it says double barreled on the double barrel samples.
Mhm.
But like I didn't catch that earlier, and I didn't know because the regular barrel proof is so dark.
Very
I'm like,
dark.
wow,
Yeah.
that's a testament.
And compared to my barrel pick, which is 118 proof, I mean, the barrel proofs that you guys got are significantly darker.
So
Yeah.
this in this glass right here, I warmed up with Wild Turkey, our Russell's pick from last year, Judge,
Oh,
the Tyrone
nice. Okay.
Tyrone T, and
Yeah.
this Cedar Ridge barrel pick in this glass is half the age and twice as dark.
Wow.
I have the
That's
same thing.
crazy.
This one is the store pick, and then I mean, it's significantly darker. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I mean, it's
Yeah, no, you can for sure. That's crazy. All right, we're diving into some Cedar Ridge. Cedar Ridge, I love it. I love it. I'm with you, by the way. I saw David said he loves a good double oak. Who doesn't? I love a good double oak as well, for sure.
yeah. I'm kind of
Love some
happy we're
double
saving that for the end.
oak. Yeah, me too. I think it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to finish off with a like a finished double oak, whatever. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going with the barrel proof. So it's the one titled barrel number or bottle number 19.371. 19.371. Let's have fun with this one.
Thanks for being here tonight, guys. This is going to be a
Yes.
fun one.
Here's
Absolutely.
Sure, though.
So I have to know before we dive into these, Aaron, did you already dive into these already? Figure
No,
out which ones you
I
like?
just
You
I
did?
just sipped the first one.
Oh my gosh! Oh boy! Okay.
I'm trying to rein it in a little bit.
I
Wow. I have to.
Aaron, have
I
you
have-
tried one? Have you made it back through already? Because if you
Not yet.
the first one, she's already gone through and back.
I have to
That's
comment.
true.
Like this doesn't always jump out, but I'm looking this way and the light shining this way. Sometimes on some pours, the whiskey, the way it sticks to the glass, it's crazy.
Okay.
This whiskey doesn't really even have legs. It just coats the glass like oil, and then
Yeah,
it's like barely runs. That's
literally
crazy.
did, right? Like it doesn't really run down; it stays for a while.
It doesn't. That's a good point. You're right.
Makes
So-
sense how dark it is.
I will say,
is.
going into this pick, anytime you're dealing with a craft distillery, the first thing I'm looking for is those crafty notes to see if they're there, because I don't particularly like those very much
Agreed.
unless they're incredibly well done. Like I've had some good Frey ranches and things like that.
True.
But
True.
very rarely does that craft note is it done well, and I'm not getting craft on the nose on the first class at all.
Yeah, you're right about that craft note. I would tell you, my local home distillery, and I hate to say it, but the state of Delaware, Painted Stave, no, bad publicity about them. I love them as a brand, but their whiskey, it has like that very crafty kind of a note to it, and it's just I have to be in the mood for it. I don't mind it, but I have to be in the mood for it. So I'm totally with you, but I don't get it on this one, which is great. It's nice.
On the
So
nose,
Jamie,
I'm
what are you
just-
thinking, Jamie? Or Josh?
Not
Sorry,
bad.
my apologies.
Oh no, I was just going to say I find this nose to be very pleasant. I'm
Yeah.
wondering what you guys are getting on it specifically. I don't want to influence anybody, but
I have like it's really weird. It's almost like a buttered caramel popcorn kind of a note to it.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's funny because it almost has a double oak smell to me.
yeah. That's
When
gonna.
Like I literally am smelling this, and I'm going back and smelling. Now the other store pick that has that crafty smell to it. It's like very
Okay.
20 point, and I can tell it almost smells like richer double oaked almost. I got to do something here.
Ooh.
Jamie, what do you think about the nose on this one, Jamie?
Yeah, what are you
It's pretty
thinking?
good. It's I get a little bit of that, maybe that buttery popcorn like Marcus was talking about.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's like a salty caramel kind of a note. It's different. I like it though.
It almost reminds me. That's why I'm saying. I think with the double oak, like you were saying, the salty, because I get that when I Woodford double oak. I get that same note, and
Okay.
it's reminding me of that a little bit.
Okay. That's cool. That's awesome. Rob, what are you thinking, Rob?
I'm getting quite a bit of chocolate on this too, like some malted milk a little bit on there.
Okay. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten into the palate yet, but the nose, it's almost given me, the more time I spend with it, that kind of like, the first thing I went toward was like a kind of like a caramel popcorn type of thing. And the more time I spend with it and get underneath that, there's almost like, there's like a little bit of like a orange cherry that's kind of reminding me a little bit of an old fashioned, a little bit on the nose.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I can still see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, fruity, it's chocolatey. The Rob's Point. Justin, are you still in the nose, Justin, or have you already sipped this?
Yeah, you know, I've nosed it and tasted it. I don't get the buttered popcorn that you guys are getting, but I'm like, to me, it smells like raisins, like a box of like sun-made raisins.
Okay.
I like it
like
though.
that.
It's good. I mean, it is a very
That's
pleasant
really
nose.
I can see that. I can almost get like the golden raisins.
Yeah.
Like the
I'm used to having like your school lunchbox, like the little red packs or whatever you
The
got.
little red packs, your mom will pack them for you.
Right.
I love those. Oh yeah. Get the lunch, you're all happy. You're like, Mom hooked me up. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Not bad at all.
Certainly coating the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. It is.
Man, it's got a quite an oily mouthfeel on the palate.
Yep.
I'm not getting it. If I was going to critique it, it doesn't have a huge finish, but it really is alive on the palate. It's almost like I took 2 sips. The first sip almost like hit me almost like a Sprite, like a really bright, sparkly effervescence.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Totally
almost
agree.
like those citrusy Sprite notes. But then the second sip had so much more of that oily and caramel type of thing to it.
Yeah, I wish the finish was a little bit longer, at least for me personally. It's a little like it's here, then it kind of just falls off a little bit.
Feels like it's a little bit more mid palate.
Yeah, that first sip, my tongue, it could felt like it exploded in my mouth. I felt it like just, and then obviously the second sip didn't do that, but I would say like I expected more, like when I smelled it, the way I was smelling it, to transfer into a longer finish.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Point. That's a really good point.
It's funny. I just did a flight yesterday of some Russell's barrel picks, and I had 2 barrels side by side with each other, and one was kind of sparkly on the palate like this, and then the other one was a lot more laid back on the palate, but had a big finish. And so, you know, it'll be interesting to go down the line here and see what these others are working with, because, you know, if you run into that situation, it's like, man, what do you go with the palate? Do you go with the finish? You know, it can be tricky.
Yeah, indeed.
I bet there's one that's the whole package.
Okay. Aaron's already done, by the way.
I've picked my winner, but I don't want to say anything.
She's just gonna
Aaron is my kind of girl. She is like, she knows what she wants. Boom. Drop the mic. I love it.
She's just going to wait for us to come to the correct answer. And if we come to the incorrect answer, she will let us know.
No,
No, she won't let us know, but we'll know.
So true. Indeed. All right. Well, I feel good about, well, not feel good in terms like that I'm in love with it, but I'm okay with our start, the barrel proof. Are we ready to move on to the next one? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Let me just do this real quick.
So we're getting into 19.392.
Yes, indeed. This one looks darker than the last a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? A little bit darker. Yeah. That's interesting. Very interesting.
I don't know about color, but it smells like, I mean, I'm looking at the age. I know they're the same age, but this one smells like it's got another year or 2 of age on it to me.
Mm-hmm.
This has a better nose on it, I think.
And these are the ones we said we knew the age. They're both 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are both 5. Yeah.
No, I agree with you though, Josh. It does actually smell older.
It does.
Yeah.
It's completely different on the nose, which is so funny how that works.
Yeah.
Different.
Oh wow, that's nice actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of similar notes as I was getting on the first glass. However, when I say it smells a year or 2 older to me, what that means is just like everything's a little bit more cohesive on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bright notes are not quite as bright. The darker notes are a little bit darker, and it just seems more mature.
It's funny. So, Justin, I didn't really pick up that raisin note you mentioned in the first one. Not as much, but a lot more in this one.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
I was just gonna say that I was picking up more fruit. I'm missing the chocolate, which I actually like that malty chocolate in the first one. That smell.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would transfer to the palate, and it didn't for me. But I'm definitely getting more the fruity raisin.
This one has kind of also a like a faint vanilla candle type of smell.
I like that. That's cool. I like that.
I just really quickly Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Oh, just I'm getting a bunch of baking spices in this.
Yeah.
When I first smelled it, and it kind of is. I'm getting a little deeper into I'm like that raisiny, almost like prune.
Yeah, that's.
Mhm.
I'm with you, Randy.
Definitely.
That's more what I get.
I'm with you on that one, Randy, for sure. The prune raisin note.
I just bounced back to the nose on glass 1 real quick,
Yeah.
and boy, it smells so bright and like almost.
Right.
I said I got kind of like a Sprite type of vibe on the palate. I'm
Yeah.
getting that on the nose now, going back to it, and it just
Oh, yeah.
highlights how much darker glass 2 is on the nose.
Aaron, what do you think of glass 2? Like just like in the nose and so forth. What are your thoughts on it?
I didn't write down what I thought on the nose, but I don't think the palette is as dark and complex as the nose.
Okay. Oh,
Really?
okay.
I felt a little disappointed in
Oh man.
like after smelling it and then tasting it. I didn't feel like it was as complex as I expected it to be.
So I just took a sip, my first sip on glass 2, and I'm getting the finish. It doesn't have that super bright, sparkly palette, but I'm getting the finish.
Very citrusy.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Citrus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird.
You know what's weird?
And you're
though?
right,
I am.
Aaron. She's spot on. It doesn't have the darkness that you would think, like with the raisin and the chocolate in the nose and the prune note. That doesn't transfer over. It's way more citric forward, similar to the nose on the front one. On the first one, is almost like the palate on the second one matches the nose on the front. That's really weird.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is on the finish, I'm getting what I smelt on the first one, that malty chocolate. I'm getting that at the back end on the finish of this.
Oh, okay.
I didn't smell that at all.
That's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it's a little more cohesive all together. It doesn't have a front middle. It's just very smooth all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I feel like I smell this one and it tastes like this one should taste.
Yeah.
No.
That's the exact same thing I was thinking. It's like, what the hell's going on here? You know?
They're
And then
opposite.
drink this.
Yeah, seriously. Patrick in the chat. I see Patrick. Patrick, Tim, what's going on, guys? Winslow,
Oh, Winslow. Okay. Patrick.
Tim.
What's going on, guys?
Jason, and Brandy from the Black Bourbon family. Cheers.
This one has more legs. I love it, Tina.
Man, that finish just keeps going.
It does.
Yeah. I like
On the
two
second
better
one?
than the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say 2 is much more enjoyable to drink.
I agree.
It just keeps going.
Yep.
For me, the number 2 is in the I would put it in like the dessert whiskey category. It's very creamy. I mean, it's good, but it's very faint. It's very soft. Like it does have a super long finish. I still taste it. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's a good point about like a dessert kind of a finish to it in a way.
Like that's what I mean. I keep getting like a proof's probably lower on it. I would imagine it's like more of a vanilla type taste. It's good.
Yep. Like it.
All right. Wow, that's different. That's cool. I like that. Doesn't touch. Long finish. All right. Cool. All right. Are we ready to move over to our double oak category?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
We're getting
Which one
into
is-
X2-24-9.
Perfect. Awesome. Josh, you remind me of like the what is it, the guys like when you're like an auctioneer. We're now up for bid.
Lot X2-24-9.
I love it. That was awesome, Josh. Oh, that is dark.
Oh, okay. Just on the nose, I mean, these took a step up in richness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time,
You would
big
think so.
time. Yeah.
Prepare yourselves, fellas.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
This is good.
I feel like I have the cheat code. I'm like, I have the answers for the test.
Chocolate. Mm.
The
It's
sway
not
the-
like a dark chocolate. It's almost like a milk chocolate, almost kind of a note.
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice. Like silky. What do you think, Justin? What do you think of this one so far? Just on the nose. X224-9.
I agree. Just chocolate all over.
Oh man.
This is good.
Yeah, sounds
Not,
good.
yeah, like not a dark chocolate. It's more of a like a Three Musketeer type of chocolate.
I like that. Okay.
I like
cool.
that note.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
This is
is
because I
good.
spent way too many days in a hospital, but it's
Yeah.
reminding me of the chocolate pudding my daughter kept getting.
It's like
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jamie, what about you, Jamie? What are you thinking, my friend?
Yeah, I think it smells good. I think you can tell it's a double oaked. I think you can most certainly get the darkness. I get the chocolate bit too. Probably the Three Musketeers, a little bit lighter chocolate, not super dark chocolate, not like Cocoa Cow.
Like that nougat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great point. Josh, what do you think so far, brother? What's your
Yeah, I
mind
mean,
playing on this one?
Kind of everything that's been said. It is very kind of chocolate candy bar-y. I am detecting a thread of the same sweetness that was in the first two glasses that's kind of underneath that kind of chocolatey, like the candy bar chocolatey type of sweetness that's prevalent on the nose. But yeah, I really enjoy the nose of this. I think so far it's got my favorite nose of the bunch.
It does have a great nose. Yeah,
It does.
I agree.
It does.
And I don't know if I'm smelling it next to the non-double oaked one, so I can tell there's a difference on the nose, but if I were blind, I don't know if I would call this out as double oaked. It's not heavy-handed by any means, which is something that I really try to watch out for in double oak products if it gets really heavy-handed.
Right.
So true. That's a good point, because sometimes a double oak can almost be like too much in a way. And this is, you're right. You may not even know that it's a double oak, as a whole. That's a good point, Josh.
I'm getting this on the palate. Cheers, all.
Yep. Cheers, everyone.
Wow, that is so soft.
Yeah. That's
It's
different.
kind of drying as well to me.
Yeah, I think it's got a little bit more drying in it.
Aaron, that's a good point. It is very drying.
Mhm.
And it doesn't have the finish that Glass 2 had either.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Not at all.
No, but you do feel that drying in your mouth still, like that
a little
linger.
bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's almost like
It
a
loses the citrus note, which is actually, in my opinion, I'm kind of glad you kind of lose that citrus note, maybe because of the double oak potentially. I would assume at least.
Feels like it's got a little more proof on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel it on my tongue on the sides a little bit more.
Mhm.
it's very like herbal spice tasting to me, like a tea spice type of taste.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then
I like that note, like a loose leaf tea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
I
feels
like
like to
that
me.
too. Absolutely.
But
Right
I
back
do
at
agree
you,
with
Michael.
Don't think the finish lasts as long.
Indeed.
Yeah, sure. It does dry your mouth out. I agree with you, Aaron. It's super dry.
Mhm.
Aaron, do you like that finish on this first double oak? What are your thoughts on this one, just from a finish standpoint?
I'm not a super big fan of when it's too dry. Like, I feel like there's a balance of dryness, and this
Okay.
to me might be a little bit heavy-handed on the drying, on the
drying
finish. Personally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Good
coming from a lady who's one of her favorite bottles in this house is the very first 13th Colony Double Oak. So she does like.
Oh,
I do like double oaked, yeah, and Sagamore double oaked.
Well, that's a
yeah,
wrap.
Sagamore. Oh,
Well,
really good.
That doesn't matter. It's still good. I just like good things.
Nothing wrong with some good whiskey. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Barrel picks are simple. Just pick the good
Just
whiskey.
pick the good one. Like, it's fine. It's not that hard, y'all.
It really isn't. So true. That's an interesting one. I always, whenever I do this, I always like give it like a little scale, like a number, like 1 to 10. I don't know where to rank that one, like a number wise. It's that's interesting. I'm kind of torn. I think I know where I'm going to go with it.
I could see that being quite challenging because there are some good aspects to it, but then there's there's some dings as well. So
I do feel like it has the best nose out of the group, but I also don't think it's the strongest contender on the palate out of the group.
yeah.
I like the nose better than the palate for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a hard thing too, because double oaked almost always, just because it has more, has a better nose. Like to me, when I do double oaked, like I enjoy that. But I do kind of, Josh said something, it kind of, I was thinking it where instead of it being double oaked, I know there's not much difference, but it's more of a toasted to me than a double oaked. It's not as deep and dark.
Yeah.
But I'm also picking up more of the craftness. It gave me more of that craft feel to it.
Yeah. That's a good point,
Okay.
Randy. I agree with that. I love that point that you said is more almost like a really longer toast than it is a true traditional double oak. That's a good point, actually.
Right.
I love that. That's a really good point. More toasty.
Good stuff. I have a clear front runner. I haven't revisited the other two yet, but I have a clear front runner so far.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
I do too.
Well, I'm ready to go to, if you guys are, XT 2410.
Let's go. Cheers, all.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh, this nose is nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is like the one where you keep saying, like, each one we've said is, oh, that's a good nose. This one's better. This one's better.
Yeah.
This is a nice nose.
I would call this nose fluffy.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
There's like a pillowy sweetness about it.
Oh,
It's like
I
a
like
s'mores to me.
Oh, the marshmallow.
Marshmallow slash.
It's definitely
coffee.
marshmallowy.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
I do get that. Oh, this reminds me of a traditional double oak, like a really good nose on a double oak. The last one, I agree, Randy, was more toasty, at least on the nose. This is more like a traditional double oak nose.
You know what this smells like is the new Penelope toasted the marshmallow one they came out with.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's what this
I haven't
smells
had
like.
that one.
Yeah, I think that was in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, while I'm smelling this thing, I got to give you guys a shout out. Randy, Jamie, Justin. The bourbon bar is looking quite nice, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So true. Yeah, that is looking
Yeah,
really
I
nice.
know.
You guys got some
It's
good
only
setups.
Mr.
So we
Appreciate
know Josh and Aaron where to go, right? And Rob, we know. Well, Rob won't show it, but I know Rob has a massive collection. Rob is keeping it on the DL FBI level. He has like like you probably press like a button and like shit opens up. So Rob is like on the secret level. Just trust and believe. Trust and believe.
I'm in the office today.
There you go. In the office. I like it. I like it.
That's funny. So am I. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, I gotta get to the palate of this
Yeah,
one.
me too. I just can't get past that caramel. It's like a caramel covered, like a caramel drizzled marshmallow on the nose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is good. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Oh, hey now.
I feel like Aaron was just waiting for us to get here.
I was.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Hey now.
You're not wrong.
But you know what's funny though, and I'm glad that we did this. I mean, I'm glad that we went in this order. We'll still rank them and everyone can vote and everything. But I'm glad we did this order where we did like standard barrel proof and then we did double oaked. That was a good call out,
Yeah.
Josh. Really good call out.
This is
That's
just enjoyable on the nose and on the palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Also,
Nice
I
long
feel like
finish.
this has the longest finish.
Yeah,
It really does.
very consistent across the entire like beginning of the palate, mid palate, and end of the palate.
I think it's
Yeah.
closer to 2 on the finish for sure. I mean, 2's closer to 4 on the finish, I should say.
Oh man. I just went back to the nose after getting it on the palate, and like there's this thing that happens sometimes that I absolutely love, and it's like a savory note, and I don't know how to describe it. I tend to lean towards like just calling it a savory note, like a barrel char savory note, but to me it's almost like a bacon fat, like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's
I'm getting barbecue.
Yeah, like a barbecue-y type
barbecue. Okay.
But not smoky.
No.
It's just kind of like reminiscent of barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soft leather a little bit.
Barbecue adjacent.
Yeah, and when I can get that, I love it. And I don't know where it comes from because it's not always on double oak stuff. Sometimes it's on double oak stuff. Sometimes it's on regular stuff.
I think it's that leather note to it gives you that kind of barbecue-y, that feeling of that age.
Not too
Dine-
drying.
No, not at all. Not trying at all. I don't feel like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No.
Not drying.
No.
Ryan said, I
No,
covet
no,
that
no.
savory note. Well, you would
Yeah.
love this barrel.
Hmm.
Yeah, you would for sure. Cheers to you, by the way, Quinn. Good to see you, my friend.
Well, I'm done.
No, I was done like 20 minutes ago.
I know.
All right.
Don't you, Aaron?
You're just waiting for us to get to it.
I'm just waiting for y'all to come to your senses. It's fine.
Are
Two
we
of my
ready to
winners
vote?
left.
I mean,
Done before it started.
we can wrap this bad boy up.
I'm going to revisit my second
I
place.
feel like we should wrap it up and then just hang out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
I
I'm gonna
like that.
revisit
I like
number
that.
2. That was my winner until now.
That's why I just went back to number 2. And honestly, I don't know what, but this made it better.
Oh yeah.
Not good,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it made number 2 better.
We
You
might
guys
have
have
a.
a better on 2 than 4?
I like everything better on 4 personally.
No.
Just for
Two
me.
was my winner until I got to 4. I think 4 is better.
Yeah. But it's funny because now that we've made it this way, I don't get the citrus as much on the.
On
Yeah.
2? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
But that's
still-
the double oak thing, right? When you drink double oak, they usually, I mean, anything like that, you kind of throws off your palate. So
Yeah,
you pick up
that's true.
still remnants of that. So it makes this better, in my opinion, but I don't know if it.
Yeah.
So I think the finish on 2 rivals the finish on 4 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
What's the most funny to me is that now having tasted 4 going back to 2, I get a little bit of a crafty note on 2.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
know.
agree with you, Josh. I do agree.
I will say,
I
I,
just do the same thing.
I don't think it tastes
Totally
as good now.
I think that, I don't know if it's because it's the double oak, but the chocolate, I pick up more of that chocolate in the finish now. I definitely do like the finish on 2. I don't think better than 4, but I don't know if they just played well off of each other, but
Yeah.
I think the palate on 2 is a little bit more subdued, which makes the finish stand out a little bit more, whereas the everything on 4 is cranked up.
right.
Like
Yeah.
from the tip of the tongue all the way back to the finish.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I mean, it almost like, it just kind of envelops your palate compared to all the other pours on the table.
Yeah. Torp asked a good question. So the proofs of the double oaked are 116 and 117, Torp, like respectively. We don't actually have the proofs on the barrel proof, but I would think, guys, you guys keep me honest, they're probably all like in the same like range, right? Ballpark, if you will.
Yeah. I would think they'd be in the same ballpark.
I would
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although-
they're definitely not higher. They're definitely lower.
The proof on my cast strength is 118, so they got to be all within the same realm.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I think the first glass might have sneaky proof because it really has a lot of spice on the palate.
Yeah.
It's got a little zing.
Mm.
Yeah. That was definitely the spiciest out of the 4.
Yeah, it was.
Wow,
Very
this was really easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
we're
really was.
this is
I think we're
extremely
all on
easy.
the same page.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. Do we want to go around and vote?
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to Josh because we're all gentlemen here. We're gonna start with Aaron. I think we know, obviously.
4. Glass number 4 is my choice.
All right. Let's go around. How about Randy next?
4.
All right. Jamie?
Yep, same for me. 4. 4 takes it.
All right. Rob?
4 as well.
Justin?
Yeah, I had a 4-2-1-3. So you have 4's first place.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had 4-2. Actually, I had 4-2-3-1. And then Josh, how about you?
Not even close. It's 4.
All right. And I had 4 as well, like I just mentioned. So that was pretty simple and easy. So our
Yeah,
That
winner,
might be the easiest barrel pick I've ever been on, which is saying something.
literally.
Like, I'd legitimately, if I went into a store and bought any of these single barrels, I would be happy with them.
Yeah.
4 has got that it factor
It does.
that I want.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
does.
Well, it's the whole package.
Yeah.
I really appreciate a whiskey when it tastes as good as it smells, or it smells as good as it tastes. And I feel like this one was that. Like it smelled good and it tasted good, and it had a good finish.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
100%.
true.
1 had a great nose. 2 had a great finish. 3 had a great nose, but kind of a weird finish for me. And then 4 was
Yeah.
just a boom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. I think
finished
4 was everything that I like in whiskey. So it
Yeah.
was simple. I agree with you, Aaron. I mean, You're right. We wrapped this up quickly because I mean it was very crystal clear. I think. I mean 4 was just like the front runner. It was save the best for last, and we literally did save the best for last.
Yeah,
literally.
Good.
So now that we finished this so quickly,
Josh is done. He's never done this before in his life.
I've never done a barrel pick.
as fast.
Is he struggling with that, Aaron? Is he struggling with the fact that it was so quick?
I think his brain does not compute.
Well, like typically, like I have to taste things back to back. Like 4 to me is just so head and shoulders above the other pours. And again, the other pours are like I really like 2. Yeah, but
I like 2 a lot.
Yeah.
I have to be the divisive one. I kind of liked 1 better than 2, but it's like the point's moot. But I kind of prefer 1 to 2.
I see it though.
Yeah,
it's got that bright sweetness. It's 1 is really good.
Yeah,
I liked 1 and 2. I do have 3 probably in last place just because it has kind of a little bit of like a flatness to it.
Yeah.
But again, like if I went in and bought it, it's still a very enjoyable pour. 4 is just so head and shoulders above everything else on the table that it makes it a really easy pick. But now we actually I haven't drank all my sample, so like we can actually spend some time. I mean, we're kind of like sorting things out, but like we can actually tell people what to expect out of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like which I think just the fact that we're all reacting to it the way we have, pretty unanimously, and a little bit of a love letter to Glass 4 here. But I mean, I'm super happy. Like I'll just say this: coming into this pick, you never know what to expect going into barrel picks. Glass 2, I would have been very happy with. Glass 4 exceeded my expectations for this pick.
Yeah. I agree with you. Well said. I completely agree, Josh. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's 4. I didn't know what to expect, as I mentioned earlier, right when we first kicked off. I'd only had Cedar Ridge 1 time at a buddy's house, numerous pours deep, so I didn't remember honestly that much about Cedar Ridge. But the community has, really loved Cedar Ridge across the board. Everyone's telling me, oh, it's really, really good whiskey. And I had the first 2 or 3, and I was like, oh, this is really, really good. And then when we got to number 4, I was like, now we're home. Home.
Yeah, you guys all, if you watched the rewatch, you guys all were like, wow.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like,
yeah. Up at the camera, and I watched Erin, and she just sat back like this. She's like,
I was like, all right.
I don't know why it's doing this to me, but when I smell glass number 4, like that, you get that like marshmallowy sweetness, that fluffy sweetness. And then it's almost like it's drizzled with caramel. But then the more I smell it and dig into it, then I got that savory note. And now I'm smelling it, and it's putting in my mind the vision of those like Girl Scouts Samoa cookies.
I'm not very coconut though.
I'm not, but it's not a real coconut. I don't like coconut all that much as food goes, but those Samoas are pretty good.
They are good.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they called caramel delights these days?
Oh, is that what they call?
Oh, is that what they call them?
They call them now?
Yeah.
Oh, they changed the name? Oh wow!
Yeah,
Fancy.
I think.
They're
We've got a bunch upstairs, so.
Oh,
That's funny.
Judge, can you highlight 21090's latest comment?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go on the real quick.
It's funny. I want Josh to see it. Josh just not.
Cheers. I love that.
What did they say? My eyes are horrible.
Very good. I can't wait for this pick you guys are picking. 2 epic palettes and Josh's, so you can't go wrong.
Oh,
this is my first Cedar Ridge. I would not be disappointed if I had this bottle that we picked for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. If this barrel was my first time trying Cedar Ridge ever, I would not be mad at it.
Yep, so true.
Well,
so true.
I think now the fact that it is a double-barreled pick, I'm looking at the label here, but yeah, double oaked. The first thing I think in my brain is like when people think double oak, the very first place, I think all our minds go
Woodford.
Probably to Woodford.
Yeah.
This ain't that.
It's not that.
No.
This is
not at all.
So much. I'm just gonna be frank, so much better. And honestly, price point's probably gonna be pretty close to what a Woodford double oaked is, and this is a million times better than that.
I probably wouldn't pick up on the fact that it's double barreled if I were to be tasting this blind.
The only tip off really is that marshmallowy note.
Yeah.
Maybe. I get that sometimes on things that aren't double barreled, but that's just me.
It's a good point though. It's not drying.
Yeah.
It's not overly double oaked.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
double
It's not
oaking that's-
overly sweet. It's
Yeah.
like it's like
Well,
Mhm.
and
It's good balance.
That's like the Woodford double oak is more that desserty sweet.
mhm.
This is more
It
that
is.
savory. Like I actually keep picturing this like sitting like just in my head. I'm thinking like just spending a day smoking some pulled pork or something like that, a brisket, eating that, sitting down outside. This kind of like that finish, that barbecue.
Yeah.
It's got that note, that leather.
Yeah,
It's just got more depth.
it does.
good.
It does.
Speaking my language, Andy, with that.
Yeah,
I know. He started talking that barbecue language. Rob was like, I gotta go fire up the grill. Rob in our Discord is the barbecue pit master. That's my nickname for him. The barbecue pit
it like
master.
transports you. I'm even like that barbecue, but I'm getting like almost that. I don't know. It's. I know it's leather, but it's. I'm trying to put my finger on it. It's like that taste is. It's reminding me of something, and I don't know what it is. Like I don't like almost like that picnic. You have the barbecue on your plate. You have some Lay's chips,
Baked beans.
yeah, baked
You
beans,
know, with everything.
everything. It's just. I
It
don't know.
comes together.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
completely comes together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe we can name it something along the lines of like a
I like that.
potluck or something, potluck picnic or
Ooh.
something. I don't
like
know.
that.
I don't know about
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
Well, people bring
something
like
in there.
beans and I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing. I'm spitballing.
Yeah,
This is
I like the picnic vibe. It's definitely got a little bit of that.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of
Yeah.
everything. I like that.
When I think of Woodford Double Oak, I think of like this kind of maple syrupy,
Maple syrup. Yeah.
waffly type of note, and
Yeah.
this has a little bit of like it has a little bit of a waffly maple syrupy thing in there as well, but there's some like smoked bacon on the plate also.
I feel like we do a lot of breakfast things. Can we like stray away from breakfast?
I like some breakfast.
Like breakfast for dinner.
Stick with the barbecue. I like that. I like the barbecue though.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
No,
So
it's
we'll have to
definitely-
find out. We know the proof. We'll have to find out the age, and then also the turnaround time. And then I'll also find out. I'll shoot an email over I'll shoot an email over tomorrow. Josh and Aaron, I'll copy you guys on it, of course. And we'll also find out the not only the turn time, but how long it's been in the second barrel. I would love to know that. Like how long has it been there?
That's a good point.
You know,
Can't be long.
Man, this
Yeah.
has got like I like the barbecue theme. Like we gotta figure out something with that, with the pick name and the sticker. I'm like, my mind's immediately going to sauces. Like it's not like
How about like Yogi Bear's picnic basket?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
I got like
Okay.
fingers in my head.
I ain't mad at that.
All right. All right.
I feel like that's some good. That's some
Is that
good
Yogi or Boo Boo?
Yeah.
fuel.
both.
I don't know. I'm thinking like Porky's. I just keep thinking like a pig in my head, like a pig. Like
Yeah.
A pig with a picnic basket.
A pig
Yeah.
with a picnic
you go.
basket.
Yeah, my brain went to like sweet heat, but it's not hot,
It's not.
so
but
that doesn't
it
really
has a
work.
finish.
And it's
Right.
and
Also,
I
that was your nickname in high school. We don't want to clue everyone in on that.
Wow.
Do tell, Aaron, please.
I feel like we gotta keep that on the detail, man.
but my brain went towards like, I'm like, okay, that's not right. So then my brain went towards like Kansas City barbecue, but this is actually a little bit more like Texas barbecue to me.
But it's not made in Texas, so we don't
Correct.
need to. We don't need to.
Yeah. No,
It's not a Texas whiskey.
So I have a question for you guys. So we all know that Cedar Ridge does a ton of finishes, right? They do. I mean, they obviously have like standard, like, as products, rum, brandy, sherry, and so forth. If we did part 2 in early 2025, right? We came back together, like based off of like just the standard whiskey we did today, maybe not the double oak, but like the standard barrel proof. What kind of finish do you think, based off of their profile, might be a good finished version of their whiskey? What do you guys think?
Did they have a port as well? I think I was doing a little bit of research on their website. I think they had a
yeah,
port
I think
finish.
they have a white port. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The port. I can see that. I can
Mhm.
definitely see the
being good.
port.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
see.
they do a maple as well.
Oh,
Ooh.
I can see glass 1 benefiting a lot from a maple finish
oh,
Yeah.
darken it
Big
up. Huh?
time.
because it's a little
Darken it
bright.
up.
I feel like it could darken it up, and that'd make
Yeah.
it real good.
A
I
little
think
bit
that
of
maple is a distillery only, so I'll have to look
Even-
into that. But yeah.
Even to that, I mean, if you took glass 2 and gave it the maple finish or something along those lines, but you had that finish, but you gave that very front note to it. I think it's missing on the nose. I think it's missing a little bit where like the nose on one was way better to me. But like if you added something like a finish to that one, one or two, I think it'd be amazing. You really change it.
Absolutely. That's a good point. That's a really good point, Randy. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Absolutely.
I think with like one, I would want like a sherry, where on like two, I'd want like that maple to me.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Yeah, because the first one, that's a good point, actually. I like that. The cherry and then the maple for each one of them. Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Sorry, Steve, we don't have a honey finish. Steve in the comments, no honey finish.
No honey finish.
Sorry,
no honey finish.
No, hard pass on the honey finish.
So hard. I mean, there's so few companies.
I love me some honey too. So in general, Aaron, you're not a big honey finish person?
We are not in this.
I feel like it's overdone and not done well in most cases.
The short barrel honey finish, though, seriously? On a serious note? Oh, okay. Well, you got a sample coming, because that is one of my favorite honey finishes there is. It is my favorite.
I think a lot
Have
of
you
times
had Glenn's Creek?
I've had Glen Creek. Yep.
You have the honey finish?
Yeah, I think short barrel
better.
Yeah, I do.
I like them in different ways. I think they are probably my two favorite honey finishes, but I like them in different ways.
Right.
Glenn's Creek is more of a chocolate honey, and then I would say short barrel is probably the perfect definition of a honey finish, because you still can taste like the natural core elements of the whiskey, but then you also get like all the honey. Glenn's Creek is just chocolate, coffee, and honey together. That is a dessert in a glass. That crap is good.
The problem I have with Glenn's Creek is I can have a glass and that's it. I can revisit short barrel often. That's
the way I am with most honey finish. I can have a glass and that's it.
Yeah. Short barrel I can go back to often.
For me,
our Starlight pick was great. Our Starlight pick that we did judge was fantastic.
That was really good.
Really good. And
that was
some of the older Nulu honey barrels that I have are unbelievable. They're really good. Mm-hmm. They're really good. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Justin, are you a honey finish guy, Justin?
Not usually. I mean, I did like the Starlight honey one that we did. It was amazing. But I'm not normally a sweet whiskey type of guy.
Yeah.
Got it. You prefer just standard, not finish. Yeah. That's fair. No, nothing wrong with that at all, man. Trust me.
Starlight berries. That's like a desserty one to me.
I don't mean to be that guy, but did anybody have one of the original before they switched over to Nelson Brothers, one of the Belmead honeys?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. It's really good.
You're predictable, Josh.
To me, it is the best honey finish I've ever tried.
That's what we love about him.
It is very much so.
He's predictable. I love that.
They used to actually coat their barrels in honey before they finished them.
Yep.
Did they really?
Yes. Yep. That's why.
Wow.
It's like literally like it always reminded me of anybody know what a hot toddy is?
Yeah.
Okay. It always reminded me of a hot toddy. That honey in there added. It was like pure like deliciousness. So I do agree with Josh, but it was like so good. Too good.
They were good. They put honey and whiskey together and give you a spoonful of it when you're sick.
And then you went to bed. You're fine. Fine, he's sleeping.
They balanced it out so well in a way that it wasn't like you got the honey flavor without it being overly sweet.
Right.
And like honey in and of itself isn't overly sweet anyways, but somehow when you put it with bourbon, companies have a really tough time balancing the honey sweetness with the bourbon sweetness. And
true.
I don't know, it feels like a really fine line that a lot of people walk and don't get right. Now I've had some Starlights that are good. I've honestly even had one batch of Good Times honey that was good.
Oh, really?
So one batch.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing Torp in the chat saying the Hawaiian honey good.
I just got that bad boy.
Josh, have you tried the new Nelson?
Good Times.
The new honey finish. It's distillery only. Have you tried that?
I've tried it at the distillery.
Okay.
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's worth the price, in my opinion.
Nah.
It's good. It's just not. The 200.
Yeah. What is the price on that now? The Nelson's brother.
It's like 200.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh wow, 200.
Old Raleigh honey finish. Yeah, Old Raleigh.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know they made one of those. How is that?
Yeah, it's a pretty fancy bottle.
Yeah,
it is a fancy bottle. It's like is that the same bottle as like the Fox and Eden?
The
Very close to it. Very close to
it. Yeah, very similar, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How is that, Jamie? Do you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's the honey finish one. I have another one here that's just their regular, but it's kind of like this one is their cigar blend.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Old Raleigh, I'm not familiar with them. Is that their own stuff or do they source?
Yep, it's their own stuff. It's over in Raleigh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is that, like
Wow.
3 years old or 4 years old or something like that? I know it's quite young,
I think
right?
it's about. I think this one. It's not age stated, but based on the research you do, it's about 4 to 5 years old.
Interesting. Okay. That's cool.
Has anybody tried the Blue Note honey rye? I know that just came out.
I
like a few
I got
weeks ago.
mine. Mine just got delivered today. I haven't opened it yet.
Okay.
Get ready. That is
Yeah,
a
Josh?
great bottle of whiskey. Like
Is it
for
really?
the price,
Really?
like I had such low expectations. We tasted it at the food and whiskey experience at Southern Whiskey Society.
Oh, okay.
I was stunned. I'm not gonna say it's
Really?
the best whiskey in the world or anything like that, but like the bar was so low for me,
Yeah.
and I was so surprised. Now, granted, I do tend to think that ryes take better to finishing than bourbons do. Almost
completely
across the
agree.
board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
Always.
agree with that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that they didn't put it at like 100 proof or a low proof point. Like I think it's like 118 or something, right, Randy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I don't actually. It's at my office. I didn't make it back there yet today to get it. So
Okay.
It's a good bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Blue
awesome.
Note does some
That's
great
good to know.
stuff. I
They
think
are. Yeah, they're doing some really good stuff. Their whiskey
Those
is really
juke
on
joint
point.
picks are fantastic. They're
Yeah.
really good.
And great
Yeah.
value. I mean, this stuff's
Great
great
value.
value. That's great value. Like it's hard to find barrel picks that are really great value anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like to be able to do the Cedar Ridge and Blue Notes and things like that, those like it's really nice to be able to do some picks like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is. It is. So true.
Well, and I think they're all hitting that age now too. Like a lot of these places, like Driftless Glen's another example where they're new riff. They're all starting to hit that age where their juice has some age
5,
behind
6.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, starting to get like some depth to it. So like regardless, everything's very consistent across the board. That's a good point, actually, Randy. You're right. Because everyone kind of came, not everyone, but a lot of the craft distilleries that started up, a lot of them started like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. So now they're starting to have like, like that set, number of like from an age standpoint. So
I mean, that's like
awesome.
Driftless is it hitting 8 or 9, Riff has hit 8 or 9. I mean, you're starting to see some barrels with some real depth to them and not just your typical like, Driftless
3,
rye.
4
You're like, peaches, automatically peaches. Well, now they have some that are just completely different profiles.
Correct. So true.
Has anyone tried the J. Henry honey finish that came out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That was a distillery only, so I couldn't taste it. But
Wisconsin.
I cannot. I see JG in the chat's asking if we chose a Cedar Ridge. Yeah, it was unanimous.
Oh, sorry, JG. Yeah.
The pick happened so quick because once we hit barrel 4, it was game over.
117 proof. We don't know the age. We're gonna get the age as well as the age in the second barrel. But yeah, it was a unanimous decision. I mean, that doesn't happen too often where like everyone is on the exact same page.
No.
And as soon as we taste it, it's like that's
I need
it.
a little bit left, and I'm nursing it because it's like, no, don't go away.
I'm drinking all the other ones first.
I can't stop smelling it. Like I literally can't, and I keep getting new things when I go back to it. Like I've gotten.
I feel like that's good.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a nice
Absolutely.
pour
I mean,
when you get new things.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some underlying fruitiness in here. I've almost got like a faint like hint of peach. It's got the savory note in there. It's got just caramel all over it.
I will say, I keep going back to nose 1, and it does have a great nose. I just keep smelling it.
I like
one does.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, one was the
one
spiciest
really.
for me, for sure.
I think one would have been my second. Like one was my second place.
If one would have had a better finish, like the palate was
Had
awesome.
no finish. Yeah.
It had no finish. It just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
It literally refused to go past 3/4 of my. Like it just stopped. Hard
okay,
stop.
yeah, I can
One
see
had
that. I can see
yeah,
that.
one was a little. I don't know. It was missing a few things.
Yeah.
I can see that.
was.
But
You put a-
it tasted really good.
If you put a finish on one, this is like a great summer whiskey.
Honestly,
Like warm weather whiskey.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see
gonna
that.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna mix 1 and 2. I have an
You gonna
idea.
blend them?
All right,
I'm gonna mix
go
1
for
and
it.
2.
Ooh, 1 and 2.
The nose on 1,
We were
the nose
talking
on 1 was
earlier.
everything. I think it was amazing. It had nothing else, and then 2 had no nose. It didn't really have anything that offered, and then like it had a great finish.
Steve has a great question. He says, "Is this going to take as long to get as the 1792?" Look,
1792. We all might be retired, and
nothing.
Yeah, we're all going to be
90 years
retired.
old. By the time they find our 1792 barrel, who knows, Steve? Honestly, who knows, my friend? No, this should be. I don't anticipate any challenges at all.
Yeah,
unlike 1792.
For the record,
Marcus, I'm 3 or 4 hours from the distillery, so if I have to drive there to get our barrel, I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. I might sign you up for that, Rob. Seriously, Rob will be like this, in the back. I think one of my favorite picks, Josh and Aaron, that we did. Not so much for the quality. I mean, it was the quality of whiskey was amazing first and foremost, but just the fact that it took a lot of thought about the whiskey we were picking and the outcome.
Forgate. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Like to pick a whiskey today to see how you think it's going to be in the future. That was very interesting.
That was a double oak as well, right?
Interesting and kind of scary.
Which by the way, that should be. I mean, it should be at the double oak now, and it's like working its way through the process of bottling and distribution and all that stuff, which is that takes time. But yeah, I mean that I can't wait to see how that one turns out.
Ooh.
I will say when the 1792, whenever it comes out, and I knew this going in, I literally I had people tell me my local store picked a 1792 and it took them 14 months to get it in. I went into this over a year. Yeah, I went into this knowing that I had a local store that picked one.
Yeah,
of course, every market's different, but in the Tennessee market, I had a store that picked one that I helped with, and that one took 9 months to come in, and then they picked another one, and it took about 7-8 months to come in. So I knew we were on a long lead time, but then I actually had Mark Christensen contact me, and I had another person contact me as well. And they both said in their markets, varying places over the place, US, they're like, my store picked one, we're still waiting on it. I'll let you know when it comes in. And
it is pretty normal. You're right about that. I had a store in Maryland that I didn't pick it for them, but I know the manager and the owner, and they said, dude, they're ours took but I didn't know this before. You knew that before. They told me this after. So I'm like, shit, well, I wish I would have known that, but they said the same thing, Josh. It took 15 months to get their barrel. I'm like, 15 months? That's insane. I mean,
this is my naivete, but why does it take so long?
Because
Sazerac is behind the times. It's always been like that.
Dude, they're not even open for visitors still. They're still closed from COVID for visitors. You can't even go there.
No, that's so. They closed. It wasn't a COVID thing. It was they had a warehouse issue with
glass shortage.
No, something collapsed, but did any of you guys ever tour at 1792 before they shut it down?
No.
Yeah, years ago, before COVID.
It is. So got very fortunate, was able to go to the Shared Pour Partners event this summer, and we got to tour MGP, which was incredibly industrial. Absolutely nothing at MGP is set up for visitors' eyes. It is a 100% production facility, and 1792 is the exact same way. I'm literally walking through that place and looking around and do not let OSHA in here. This whole
They say that on the internet.
I'm just saying, they're fine for their employees, but
Josh, you are funny.
I love a smaller group.
to have public tours going through that place, I was this is insane.
Well, that's probably why they shut down for tours.
Well, and so much of, and let's be honest, we're all part of this, but so much of the bourbon industry is going toward, especially distillery experiences, is going the Bardstown model where they're beautifying everything and making these really great tours and things like that. And 1792 is just we could try to renovate this place and pour a bunch of money into it, or we could just keep making a boatload of whiskey and sourcing stuff out and just stop the tours. It's not like people are going to stop buying the whiskey.
So
I mean, from a business standpoint, I would just be let's just cut out the headache. Let's just make whiskey and make money. And that's what exactly what we're doing.
We did a pick here locally with 1792, and we couldn't get our barrel pick for about almost a year because they had a glass shortage during COVID. So it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing too is like it's Sazerac. They're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
So Sazerac
Yeah.
owns 92.
Yep, deep pocket.
Yep.
Got
The
it.
world.
Got it.
They're in no hurry. Now I do know I did ask about this because I was concerned. I was like, we just picked this barrel and it's summertime and like it was perfect. Like it was literally like the perfect barrel of 1792. No banana, all brown sugar and barrel char. I love that thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope it doesn't sit in the barrel too long. So I asked about it and they said that they tank it within a few weeks after you pick it. So, like,
what is the delay then? That's crazy. Like, if they tank it that quickly, like, I just wonder. I mean, I don't know.
They got to fill all the orders for Costco.
They got that many tanks, right?
That's what Costco has.
They do.
So-
Costco has it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully not.
Oh my goodness.
No,
If
it's all
Costco.
different stuff. It's all 792 Barton.
Oh goodness gracious.
They just they
Probably
pump
is.
a ton of volume through that place, and I just don't
They
think
do.
they're in any rush whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
I think the private barrel pick program that they have is more of like we know there's some nerds out there. We're gonna make them
Correct.
happy with this, but like this is
They don't
not
need it.
it's not a priority item for our
It's not.
operations.
Well, they
Not
probably
at
don't
all.
make a lot of
No.
money on the barrel pick program. They probably make
Oh,
more
no.
money just making the whiskey and selling it.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus,
And
I
look
mean,
how many
selling it
people
to
source
who are
from
the
them, like Milky
who are
Seven
the two
and
big
Boston.
brands that
Yep.
oh gosh, it's escaping me. I know I have it here, but who am I thinking of? The two big brands that they sell a lot of their whiskey to. I mean, other than Lucky 7, that's three.
Yeah.
Lucky 7's one. Who are the other two? Someone put it in chat as well.
Calumet.
Calumet,
Calumet,
yeah. And then Sam
Kirk-
Houston.
Kirkland.
Actually,
Man.
Sam Houston's done now.
Kirkland's now their biggest.
Kirkland, yeah.
Yeah, so they're just
Right.
Yeah.
they're
Costco.
cash cows. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
Oh,
making
yeah.
a point. Aaron, I think it was Aaron that said it. Yeah, they don't, or Josh said it. They don't need
And-
the single barrel.
Yeah,
program. They
the
really
barrel pick program is more of like a favor
Yeah.
to their
Yeah.
to their customers
Yeah.
don't.
than,
Exactly.
than a business like money making opportunity. Yeah.
In our area, I mean,
Well,
Benny's
whiskey,
does.
yeah, we'll get to that next year. We're tired.
Benny's did a barrel proof. They did 2 different picks with them. I mean, that's like got to be. I can't even imagine how many barrels that was because they have to fill all their different stores, and they have
Yeah.
like shelves of it.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot. I can't imagine how many barrels for.
I wish
For
they would
Costco.
expand their expressions. I mean, I know that the port
Right.
went away and a couple other ones, but they haven't put anything out since probably the port. Or I would say the Sweet Wheat's probably been the newest one, but that was like
Yeah.
5-6 years
Yeah.
ago. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably
they
they
need
don't
to-
even have to, Rob. That's the funny part. They don't even. I don't think
Yeah.
they even care. I think they're just.
it would just be nice because the high rye went away, the port went away.
Yeah.
you
I
know,
was curious. I wish the high rye would come back, but other than
Yeah.
that,
they did the 225th anniversary. I
Anniversary,
mean, that's a
yeah.
great bottle. So
Mhm.
That is a great bottle.
So,
It is.
real quick question to those of you who mixed 1 and 2,
I just took a sip of it.
do you
I
have thoughts? Let me know
I
your
love
thoughts.
it, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I love
It's,
it.
it's really good.
I feel like
It's really
2 gave 1 the finish it needed.
Yep.
I
And
literally,
one gave
makes
2
it
the
too.
sparkle on the palate.
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. It's honestly, if it wasn't for how much 4 was the whole package, 2 would be this now would be my winner. The 2 of them.
Yeah.
really,
Well, the combination. I
The
don't think we
combination.
could
Yeah.
combine.
Yeah.
When you
Great
combine
idea.
them, though, do you guys? This is really weird. What stands out in the nose when you combine 1 and 2? To me, there's one thing that
So to
I'm
me,
personally not a big fan of. Yeah,
honestly, on the nose, when I combined them, I got a very medicinal cherry cough
Yeah.
syrup note on the nose. However, the palate is great when I combine them for me.
I get a very vanilla orange sickle kind of a note when you combine the two.
I don't get that.
You
Like
look
when
at that?
when I'm drinking and I'm like, if I smell while I'm sipping, I get a cherry cough syrup nose.
It makes it. That really is like the second best thing on the table is 1 and 2
Yeah.
combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. The palate is way better than the nose for me
But you just
personally.
said it. The second best thing on the table, it's still not as good as 4.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
said.
true.
Four
So
is
true.
still easy winner.
All right, well, we're going to combine these. I mean, let's have fun. Let's finish this out. Can we combine 4 and 3? 3 and 4? Just to see if we had a
You
kid.
don't want to do
No.
4 like that.
No, I don't
I'm
want
not
to.
sure I want to run my 4.
No, I don't want to run 4.
Yeah, it's real rolling.
All right. I'm going to do it. Hell, I don't care.
You do it, Judge.
You
Do
do
it.
it,
Let
Judge.
us know.
Four's
That's
too
funny.
good for me.
I'm
4 good
curious.
is too good for me to tamper with.
It is
Yeah.
too good
One's
to
just
tamper
got
with,
that
but
big
I feel like
spikes.
For me, 3 was my favorite on the nose, but my least favorite on the palate,
100% agree
which
here.
was unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which one?
that drying was so dry, it turned me
Mhm.
off.
Was that
Yeah.
number 3?
Yeah.
number 2.
Number
Yeah,
3.
it was very drying. It really
Yeah.
I
was.
agree on the nose, but it was actually I had 4, 2, 3, 1. So it was kind
That's
of
what I
my
had.
Yeah, I was 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think because I like the nose of 1 so much, I favored that. But I went 4, 2, 1, 3.
I was close. I was 4, 1, 2, 3. I liked 1 a lot. I don't know why.
I did like 1 a lot.
Spicy.
All right.
I think it was
That's not a good. That's not a good blend.
like that.
4 and 3. Mm.
Yeah, that's
We're right back where we started.
That's
Seeing,
Aw.
I know Mrs. Judge in the chat seeing someone in Costco. This is not a good blend.
no.
Aw.
Leave that alone. 4 and 3. Just let's stick with 4.
Okay.
Good to know. Leave that alone. All right, I'm gonna watch a little bit of Thursday Night Football. I love you all, but I do love the NFL as well. I can't lie.
I'm with
I'm
you.
gonna go watch a little bit of football. This has been a blast. I want to say huge thank you to everyone that joined tonight, everyone in the chat who dialed in. Checked out the live stream. Number 1, thank you so much for your time, Justin, Jamie, Rob, Randy, aka the cool doer of stuff, and America's coolest whiskey couple, Aaron and Josh. Thank you as always. Really
Agreed.
appreciate it. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Good
Cheers.
times. We will be in touch with more.
Enjoyed it. Thanks for having us.
details.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you guys for an awesome night.
Cheers.
thanks, guys. Cheers,
Cheers all.
everyone.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Man, that was fun.